There are several layers to the project. At a very basic level, it's about material. I shop regularly in the Coronation Market, and over a period I became quite fascinated with the texture of the tarpaulin that the vendors on the immediate outskirts of the market had covering their stalls. So I basically got into a negotiation with them where I would take their old weathered tarp, and in exchange I'd give them brand new tarpaulin. Of late, I've actually started to exchange for cash. In a sense, the worn tarp has become a canvas on which I do additional work. In this particular installation, titled The Persistence of Memory, it essentially is a continuation of the exploration in Tarpaulin. And one of the themes that I explore is the theme of slavery. I've used silhouetted images. I've put targets on them, which at a very basic level is just to say that people are targets. It could be economic target, it could be racial target, it could be social target. So having got something that is used in the market, I'm exploring the market in slaves that this part of the world, meaning the Americas, was very much involved in. The movement of material is significant. And beyond that, we can look at the movement of material in society, and especially when these material actually harm our environment. We think about how we dispose of material. We think about the culture of waste and throwaway that we've basically evolved to. And so, separate and apart from the themes of slavery or themes related to slavery, there are other current contemporary themes that we can actually look at. The exhibition actually impacts the sensorial in different ways. In addition to the visual, the weathered, worn look, there's a smell that it carries with it. And in my mind, the tarpaulin is a metaphor for the people. Their whole life is encapsulated and a part of the tarpaulin. As a matter of fact, there are actually some people who sleep in the Coronation Market, and during this period they use the tarpaulin to wrap their goods. So the tarpaulin is actually quite flexible, and part of why it is so worn is because of the many uses that it has. It encapsulates all the places that they have been, and in a sense it shows their own triumph. This is the material of entrepreneurship. I've actually constructed this installation in the Philip Sherlock Centre at the University of the West Indies, which is quite significant, especially based on some of the themes I've looked at in this particular installation. The University of the West Indies being an old slave plantation, actually it is a combination of two sugar estates. There's an element of subversion where this material, having been collected from people who operate at the very lowest rung of society, and here it is now that it is at this very prestigious institution, the University of the West Indies, in a gallery setting. So essentially this material has removed from being kind of discarded to now becoming art. And then there's a conversation on which now takes place in terms of what constitutes art, how it is that a material becomes art, and who decides really what is art. I've taken pains to stitch the tarpaulin together at various places with very bright colored thread to give a sense of hope, to show that it's really not all doom and gloom. I mean, there are a lot of positives that come out of this. And so here it is that I've referenced the cross-section of the transatlantic ship, but at the same time, I have the images standing up, which in and of itself is a victory. Because we survived that. We continue to survive still. There are those who will tell you that memory is selective. The curious thing though is that a lot of what happened to us previously still happens now from a socio-political perspective. And therefore, it is interesting to know that based on some of the circumstances that surround us now, we're almost able to chart our course and to see how it is that we will evolve from this moment. This installation basically compresses time. It references the past, it looks at contemporary life, and I think in it is a projection as to how we will evolve as a people.